This is for Rachel, you big, fat, white, nasty, smelling, fat bitch. Why you took me off the motherfucking schedule with your trifling, dirty, white, racist ass, you big, fat bitch, oompa loompa body ass bitch. I'm coming up there and I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you.
But let me just tell you, honey, it's not worth it. Because I know people that have willingly sought out, you know, getting the disease, getting HIV, getting this called bug chasing.
Please explain that to me.
So bug chasing is like, it's a term to use like to describe someone who willingly seeks out HIV for the purpose of, like, for the sake of getting it and for the thrill. And a lot of times people want that because they think that if I got it, I don't have to worry about it anymore. But it has a lot of complications to it, because once you get it, first of all, you're gonna have to live with it for 6 weeks before you even start seeing something happening. So, and then you have all these other like side effects, and that could kill you. It will kill you, especially if you don't treat it. So it's like, why? You know? And so if you want to experience it, go for it. But just it's so crazy.
That's like, so
it's
I'm gonna get HIV before HIV get me.
Right.
That's some sick shit right there.
And not only that, it's like, I can't remember like what article I was reading. I was in a lot of experience when I was really young. But I think it's like these people that don't really have anything else to live for, or they think that they're just not worth it, or like it's like a no taboo type of deal, and like it's more of a fantasy than anything. Because partly, thank God, like they fantasize about this, but I actually go through with it. And if they do, like they're like, oh wait a minute, like I don't want this anymore, or whatever. But the thing is, there's like for people that are like on the other end of the spectrum and they do have HIV and they are like they're called gift givers. So if they do, you know, have these interactions with these bug chasers, like most of them don't play. Like they're at it, they're going for the touchdown. Like they're just gonna do it, and they can't really. They're gonna force you to. Like that's just it. And so you can't really stop it. And it's like at that point it just becomes like a suicide. Like it's just, you know, it's so disgusting. But I say that to say there are a lot of freaking people out there, and there are a lot of people that will sacrifice their lives, sacrifice their well-being because they want a thrill. That's a no-no. Like just don't even entertain yourself, because and a lot of times that's kind of what straight people want. That's kind of what these homophobes really want. They want to see us gone. And like one of the arguments that people like to make, like, oh, you're gonna get AIDS, you're gonna die, like.
And people don't realize that like you can live with HIV, you just gotta take medicine. And
right. But you have to be consistent.
And I learned from like people who like have HIV, like there are viral loads. So if your viral load is 0, you can't pass it on. But you know, it's still the things you gotta learn. I personally learned about gay sex through trial and error. I also was thankful that in DC there's a organization called Smile, and they're like a LGBTQ youth organization. They provide like counseling, free condoms, sex ed, and this story is really funny. I love telling this story because it's so funny. So I went there and I got condoms, and then I was like, you know what? I've never had sex, and because like when I had sex ed, like the teacher, she put the condom on the thing, but she didn't let us do it. So I go to this guy, he's like, yeah, come upstairs, come to my office. And then we're sitting there, and it's just me and him, and he pulls out this giant dildo, and he goes, BOW! Slams it on the floor, and then he's like, all right, you take the condom out. If it looks like a baby bottle top, you're in trouble. If it looks like a sombrero, you're ready to party. And then he just puts it on, and he pinches it, he goes, I swear, like 5 seconds flat, the condom is on, and I'm just like, wow. So then he's like, all right, then he goes, takes it off, now your turn. And then he leaves the room.
goodness.
So it's just me and this giant 9-inch green dildo staring each other down. I'm like, all right, time to do this. And at first I think I had it on wrong, so I couldn't get it over the tip. So I was just over there then I stopped and I got lube all over my hands. I'm just over there. It was an awkward story, but it was a good story. I needed that.
So like, I mean, in terms of like learning about gay sex, it does take a lot of trial and error, but it also takes like a lot of gut and a lot of courage, because a lot of times when you're in the moment and you're like confused and you're like, I don't know what to do. Like, I wonder if he's gonna hurt me. Like, is he gonna do this and that? Like, should I tell him to slow down? Like, whatever. Or like, if I tell you to slow down, like, will you listen? Or like, what have you? And if you keep silent, like, he's gonna have his way. Like, it's just gonna happen. But I mean, unless some people have like discretion. But it's just like trial and error, but also be willing to be uncomfortable and like be willing to like say, hey, like stop, slow down, you're hurting me, whatever. Speak up, because what happens is that like if he goes too rough, like it's gonna rupture the things that is in there, like, and it's not gonna be pretty. I know a person, like I'm gonna keep this anonymous, but I know a person who just goes to these like bathhouses and goes to these like clubs. And for those of you who don't know like what bathhouses are, like there's these like dark rooms that are normally in gay clubs, more prominent in like these really urban cities. So like in Houston there's a lot. I'm sure in DC there's a lot of clubs.
I haven't been to the club in DC, so
good. Just like good. I went to one and I was like, ugh, no, I'd rather go to the bar. But anyway, and so like he goes to these clubs for the sake of like, you know, having like, you know, getting a blowjob, giving a blowjob, whatever, and having sex with these like random guys, and like they're all piled up. It's like hot and sweaty, and like everybody's like in the mood. Most of them are drugged up, got meth in them and everything else. Some of them participate in like they're like things like these poppers.
I've never used one of those, but I know what you're talking about.
Don't. But if you do, like,
what are poppers made? I don't know what they're made out of.
It's like this chemical. It's like a lot like THC mixed with like other stuff. I don't know. Like y'all Google it. Like I don't even want to. Like it's like a drug. Like it's a stimulant meant to give you more like sexual thrill out of whatever you're doing. So like it can be anything from like jerking off to like extremes. But anyway, like so like these people like avidly like they make sex like a sport. Like it's just like a championship, like a tournament. So my friend, like he goes into this like this bathhouse, and he took me to one time. And let me just say like it's not for everybody. It definitely wasn't for me. I was like walking out like
poppers just remind me of Coke too much.
Yeah,
I've messed with a few dudes who've used it. It's just like they take the bottle out and I'm like, anything you gotta sniff is no.
No. Like
we not doing
anything that doesn't like isn't natural, like no. But like I'm just walking around, I'm like seeing these people like indulge, like they're just like these really good looking men, like nonetheless. But anyway, they're like standing up, like they're taking it, they're like, you know, like these guys like with their knees in it, and so they really getting in it. And so like I'm like walking towards like the end of the room. It's already dark, so I really can't see. And so I walk into this room, and like I'm with my friend, like you better hang on to me because I don't want to get captured, I don't want to get kidnapped or whatever. So I'm like, you better hang on to me, like you just your life. And so he takes me, he's like, let's go into this room. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like, let me just hurry up and get out of here. And so I walk into this room, he closes the door like behind me, and there's this guy, and he's like he's so buff, hairy, etc. And I'm like, what do you think you're gonna do? And a bear, exactly, that's the term. And he just looks at me, he's like he's just walking up to me, he's just like all muscular. He's got like leather boots on, and he's got this leather-esque like outfit, except his like upper body, which I can see all the hair and stuff. And he just walks up to me, he's like, you wanna get down and dirty? And I'm like, I might get down, but not dirty, honey, so you better have a condom ready. And luckily my friend had like a bunch of them in his pocket. And so I was like, okay, am I really ready for this? And let me tell you, this was my first time. This was my first time having sex. And he was just like, I hope you're ready. Like, this is it. Like, you better be ready. Like, you better get all the courage. Like, I'm like, am I going through menopause? Like, what? And so, like, we go through it, and I'm like, okay, fine. And so like I'm just like getting up my courage. I'm like really taking it in. I'm like, please don't hurt me. Like I'm just like telling him, I'm giving him all these precautions. I'm like, you better treat me like I'm a little puppy. Like I'm just like a baby. Like you better treat me right. And so he's like telling me like, okay, it's fine. Like you're fine. Like it's your first time. Like I notice it. I'm like, how do you even notice it? And they're like, trust me, I notice it. I'm like, okay, fine. And so 5 minutes in, I'm like, this is really personal. I'm just gonna tell you, but I'm taking it and I'm like, okay, it hurts, but it's fine. It hurts, but I'm gonna get through it. It's fine. And then it becomes like a pleasure thing. And then he starts getting, like, then it starts going faster and then it starts going hard. I'm like, you need to stop, like stop. And my friend is like sitting back watching, and my friend is like, you need to stop, like you need to stop. And he doesn't listen. And so I'm just like, I'm trying to get away from him, and he's like holding my back, like again, like with his hand, he's like holding my back. And a part of me is just like, okay, I need to get out of here. It's like what is happening? And like, luckily, somebody else walked in the door and was like I was like, hey, like y'all need to stop, like y'all need to get like just like stop, and you need to get out. And I was like, oh my God, thank you, Lord. Like that was a security guard like telling me like you're underage, like you need to get out of here. I was like, oh my Jesus. So like, let me just tell you, if you indulge and if you choose to go to these bathhouses with somebody that's that's overage for the purpose of like having sex for the first time, like let me tell you, like you need to show some discretion, and you need to like realize the cost. Like, because I could have had so much happening to me. Like if it weren't for that security guard, like it could have gotten so out of hand. So I'm just telling you, like this is the world like that you're about to enter. And so like, you know, just be wary of that. But other than that, have fun. Not too much fun, but have fun. It's one of those stories that I like to tell people, because like they're not sure about like how to approach situations, how to get a guy, like how to hook up with a guy, and like, but it's that's just how it is.
I appreciate you shared a lot of personal shit.
It's fine. Like like you said earlier, like before we started the video, you were like, I say shit like it is, like it's fine, like it's just, you know, it is what it is. So I'm like, I got that vibe. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, this is a safe space, no judgment.
Yeah.
So we're gonna mosey on down to another topic.
Yeah.
Earlier when you were talking about like an invasion of like a privacy about people asking about your relationship. So what is your feelings when like you meet like a straight person, they tell you like, oh yeah, are you a top, bottom, verse? Like, how do you feel when they just jump into that one right there?
I laugh because I'm like, okay, honey, are you a top? Like, what is going on? Like, how do you like? Do you get on top of the man that you bring in every night? Like, what's going on? Like, and I'm like, do you like? I just go into it. Like, I'm just like teasing around and everything. But like me personally, internal wise, I'm thinking, I'm like, this person is really interrogating me and everything. I'm like, okay, like, like, what? I just have sex. Like, is that like a problem? Like, yes. Like, are you asking me if I take it? Yes. Like, that's what? And so like when actually, I've had this person like I have a person here on campus that when I was a freshman, they came up to me. They're like, okay, you're gay. Like, oh my God, this what really bothers me. I know this is like kind of off topic, but this what really bothers me. Oh my God, you're gay? Oh my God, I have a friend like that's really gay. Like, back at home. Like, honey, we don't know each other. Like that. Not all gay people know each other. I didn't even know Cam until, you know, later on. Like, we don't have like this like telepathy of like, oh, you're gay. You're gay. Hello. I'm like.
They think we have this giant rainbow web, but we just
just gravitate.
Connect me to Tokyo. This one.
I'm like, honey, if that were really true, like, best believe hookup scenes would be better. But anyway,
it's like I don't ask you what you do in the bedroom. It's like, why do you want to know? Like, are you gonna like envision me doing it?
Like,
do
you want to like?
You gonna touch your nipples in the shower? Like, what's the point?
And one day I did like I told this person, I was like, okay, yes, I'm gay, and like and then. He asked me, he's like, so like what does it feel like taking it up? I'm like, taking up, well, excuse the language, but taking up the I'm like, at first I like have my I just immature at one point. I'm like, what's it like putting it in? Like, what? Like, I don't understand. Like, what?
Try it.
Yeah, you know, like, you know, get a dildo. Like,
I would like to
you
see
should.
it.
Yeah, I would like to see. Let me record it. I would love to watch.
I would like to see it.
And then I tell them, I'm like, I don't really know how to describe it. Like, it's fun. Like, it hurts at first, and then it's like, it's fun. Like, it's fun. And then, like, he goes on and asks me, he's like, so, do you feel like a certain thrill, like, after it? Like, why do you think you have to take it up there? And, like, why don't you do it yourself to other people? I'm like, oh, like, do you want to have sex or not? Like, do you want to get, like, do you want to experience this? Do you want me to give you the tea? I will spill it to you, honey, whenever you like.
I mean, the people be pegging. So.
Like, honestly, like, they be, like, really digging for information.
For those
like,
of y'all who don't know, pegging is when a man has his female partner put on a strap on and she inserts herself in tight. So there are some men who are doing that. I mean, people are getting more liberal with sex, and I'm here for it. You know, women like to eat butt now. They're doing that. Well, thanks for finally catching on. We've been doing it for a while, but, you know, do
we
you?
started that, you know. But, I mean, and like another note, here on this campus, I don't know if you've indulged in it or, like, experienced it or noticed it, but, like, let me tell you, I can't even count on my fingers how many times a man has come up to me and asked me, like, legit, dead ass, in the library, especially one day, let me just give you an example. This man came up to me and asked me, he was like, oh my god, I'm so stressed, like, okay, and I was like, why are you telling me this? This man is a legit, either a junior or a senior, like, he's too old to be a sophomore or freshman, and so I'm, like, asking him, I'm like, why are you telling me this? And, like, he was like, okay, I heard you, like, that you're gay, and, like, everything. I'm like, okay, like, and I'm like, okay.
Just so y'all know,
how is this about to, you know, how is this about me and my sexuality? And he's just like, I mean, I was hoping that you could relate. I'm like, I'm like, wait. Rewind. Like, what is going on? What is happening? Most times I do end up doing it, but, like, for the sake of doing it, and, like, for the sake of, and I can't even count my fingers how much times this has happened. I regret it sometimes. That's just me. But I say that to say, yes, straight people are getting more liberal with, like, everything. Yes, it is hypocritical too, because half the time these same people are, like, going about telling people, like, I don't like gay people, I don't like they should go to hell, etc. And I'm like, okay, but, like, you want me to give you dudes. So I just find it funny. It's just really funny.
And as far as like sexual preference, do you feel that in the gay community fetishize like masculinity? Like, oh yeah, trade. I'm going to the trade's house. I'm looking for the trade. And do you feel like there's like a femmephobia side of feminine gaze in like the gay community?
I think so. I think people like to generalize gay people in that, like, because you're gay, you're also a sissy. Let me tell you, I know one person on this campus who is a football player, or was, decided not to play football. Told me in our cafeteria, he was like, JCL, can I talk to you? I'm like, fine, what? And then, like, he was just like, I love teaching, I'm gay. I'm like, okay, why are you telling me this? And he's just like, I know, I've been playing football, like, I've been with these other dudes, and et cetera, this and that and the other. And, like, I really think, I'm like, you like to think that you're gay? I'm like, what? Are you are, or you're not? Or you're questioning, or are you, like, going to a transition? And I'm just like, so tell me more, like, what's really going on in your mind? And so he's just telling me, like, oh, like, I've had this one experience with one guy. I'm like, wait. So then, you can be masculine and gay / bi. Like, it's normal. In fact, it's prominent. Like, most of these men who are gay are tops, power tops, and are like, or either power tops or like just like dead top. Like, I won't never take it up. Like, I won't, get into that. But I will. To use a phrase, I will dick you down. So it's just like, there's no like limit to your gayness. There's no, like, if you're gay, then you're also feminine. Granted, I can be feminine, I can be masculine. It's just like in between. Like, I'm either or. I'm neither here nor there. But at the same time, like, I don't really appreciate it when people like come up to me and say like, you act like a female, you act like this, you act like that. Like, you act like a sissy, you talk with your hands, you cross your legs in class. Like, and I'm willing, I will do this every day, all day, for the rest of my life. And I will do it until the day I die. But, so yeah, and like, and there's another thing. Just because you know a gay person, a gay man, does not mean.
Oh my god, we have to go shopping one day. I had this really good outfit that I saw like
What's like a really popular clothing store for
Forever 21, H&M.
Forever 21, H&M, whatever. I have this.
Oh my god, I saw this really cute dress and I wonder if it goes good with my shoes.
I'm like, honey, I don't really know that much about fashion. Why do you assume this? I do, but I'm just saying, like, I'm giving you like a hypothetical example. Like, it's just because I'm gay, does not mean I can help you match up and like I can tell you like, oh honey, this looks so terrible on you, you need to change. And I can tell you like, oh, you're beautiful, like it's fine, really matches, goes with the color of your eyes, etc. I can't tell you that much. I can't tell you like, oh honey, this brand, this style, this whatever, this one, that, and the other. I can't go down the list and tell you like each and every brand, each and every person that created this, and that, and the other. I don't really know that much about fashion. A lot of gay men don't assume that. And don't also assume that just because you're gay, you don't know anything about sports. I don't. But I know many people that have participated in sport, like this man that I gave an example of. This man has been playing football all his life. And I know a lot of other gay men like that really knows a lot about basketball, football, etc. So like, just don't think that because you're gay, like that you are not to the fullest extent a man. Because it is all about who you identify yourself with and what you think, be the best person that you think that you believe you are. Like, you can be a man, you can be like a really masculine gay man, or you can be a really feminine gay man. Like, it's fine. It's all up to you. It's all up to your perception. Don't ever let people bring you down. Like, don't ever let people come at you and be like, you know, you're a sissy or whatever, this and that and the other, because at the end of the day, they're gonna be straight and ignorant, and you're gonna be gay and prosperous.
And I think it's hard. We have to find, where do you draw the line between preference and hate, or just preference and discrimination. People like to point out like Grindr a lot because it's always like no fads, no femmes, black, Arab, and I think which is fetishizing once again. I think it's kind of inappropriate. Not inappropriate, but like uncalled for. Just because like in Grindr there is a filter. There is like a filter. Like you gotta pay like $2.99 to get upgrade the show.
Actually, it's a little bit more than that. But it's like a lot more. They trying to rob you.
I ain't paid for it.
I ain't either.
I don't be on there enough to do that. But it's just like you can always filter out, and if you don't like somebody, you can always like block them or whatever. So it's just interesting, and like I feel like a lot of people have the perception like if you're feminine, you're messy, you do this, you're drama-filled, and it's like not the tea, not the gag. I'm feminine, but I'm like, well, I'm somewhere in between. I'm somewhere in between on the spectrum, but I like to chill, I like to do my mind my business, still stay where I'm at.
Yeah,
I don't gotta. No, you don't do that.
I can sit with you like I can like watch a football game, I can watch a basketball game, what have you, and at the same time like I can do your hair, like I can give you fashion advice, I can do all these other stereotypes it's associated with gay men. But at the same time, at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And as long as you are comfortable with who you are, don't ever let people tell you like, oh, even though you're gay, you're supposed to be a man. So what? Who gives a shit? Like, just be the fullest of person that you are. Like, and that's.
And I'm glad you brought that up because there's a YouTuber. His name is Tariq Ali. He's really amazing and he's gorgeous. And he did a video and he was talking about how allies, specifically straight heterosexual women, how they view gay men as like servants as opposed to like people like, oh yeah, you can pick up my clothes, do my hair, do my nails, can you give me fashion advice, or like getting a gay guy is gonna, like, I just want a gay friend, like getting a gay friend is gonna up my cool factor or like do something for me. So how do you feel about that?
I experienced this a lot in high school. When I came out to everybody in school when I was a junior, sophomore, more or less. At first, I did get a lot of backlash, but then like a group of girls came up to me one day in my senior year, and they're like, Jaden, oh my God, hi. Granted, I have never seen these people in my life. Like, I don't know you. Like, what the fuck? Like, how do you know me? Whatever. Like, Jaden, oh my God, I heard you're gay. Oh my God, we should totally be best friends. Like, we should go shopping. And I'm like, back up, honey. I don't know you. Like, 1, 2. You need to like reevaluate your life, because just because I'm gay doesn't mean that we're automatically BFFFLs. Like, it's just like, I appreciate the gesture and everything. Like, and believe me, if we were on like some type of speaking term, like I see you in class every day, like I see you in the hallway every day, and I speak to you like, hello, how you doing? You don't come at me like that. Like, we have like, I'm gay, I'm fine, but like, it's just like we have boundaries. We have certain, we're people. We're not slaves. We're not people. We're not like, these objects of. We're not an accessory. That's a good term. Like, we're not an accessory. We're not something that you put in your purse, you take out, and you're like, do I look okay? Do you think this man's gonna love me? Do you think this man's gonna take me home? Getting in. And I'm like, okay, whatever you do, it is you. Like, whatever. Like, come on. And half these people don't really want you in the beginning. Like, so just like, quit trying. And then another thing, it's like, it's like when you go out and you go into the mall, and you're like, you're one man, and you have 2 or 3 other females with high heels on, etc. And you're just walking, you're talking about the jizz, you're like gossiping or whatever. And then you just like, a girl asks you, you're just like, so this guy texted me, and I don't know like what to do. I don't know what to say. Like, how should I like ask him? Like, I really want to hook up with him, but I'm not really sure how to ask. Like, I'm not sure like what I'm supposed to wear. Like, I'm not sure like whether we should go to the movies, we should go to the restaurant, what have you. What should I do? What should I say? I'm like, honey, I don't know. Like, you need to like just go for it. Like, be the best you. Like, don't look for me for advice. Like, I'm not a handbook for hookups. Like, just because I take it don't mean nothing. Like, it doesn't mean like I'm just like an encyclopedia for how like a how-to date, like how to approach a guy. Like, half the time I don't even know how to do it myself. So it's just like, it's just like certain boundaries that you have to kind of keep up with. And like, I appreciate the gesture. And if you were to get to know me, if you were to just like, as a person, treat me as with like respect and with like cordial, and be a human and treat me like a human, then we're fine. But like, don't treat me like as like an accessory. Don't treat me like as a toy that you use to kind of.
Word.
Yeah, and so.
Just so y'all know, all my straight women out there, I cannot do hair. I don't do nails.
I can't either.
Can't do makeup. I can tell you if your clothes match, but that's about it. Moving on to another big topic. Do you watch Drag Race? Okay. RuPaul came out and he, this was like a few years ago, but basically, a lot of the queens after the show have transitioned to becoming women. They are full trans women, or bio queens, as some people will call them. And RuPaul basically made a statement. It was like, you can be an athlete, but you can't be in the Olympics. Basically saying that you can be trans and be a drag queen, but you're not gonna be in my show. And a lot of people said that this is transphobic. And then some queens came out and were like, well, The purpose of the show is to go from male to female. So like if you're a trans woman, like that kind of like takes away from the illusion, this, that, and third. So how do you feel? How do you feel about that? And like some people were like, maybe we should have a show for trans queens and drag kings and things of that nature.
I think in the transgender, like in the trans community, there's a lot of people that A, do not understand, or B, do not want to understand and or accept either trans women or trans men because they think they are some sort of a threat or see some sort of like outsider or a person that's just like really confused. Like it could be, you know, it could be black or white, whatever, what have you. And while I understand like you are coming from two different perspectives, y'all are still a community.
Exactly.
And y'all are still going through similar struggles, one being treated as people and being, you know, like going through the struggles trying to obtain freedom just like the rest of the LGBTQ community. And so like y'all should treat like on that regard, you need to treat your fellow man, woman, trans male the same way as you would want to be treated.
And I think that's so important because, like, for those of y'all who don't know, trans individuals make up less than 1% of the population in America and are at a high rate of violent crimes and dying by violent crimes. So, like, I just see it as, like, if we have this big show that the LGBTQ community drag race that is mainstream, that we love, that people are watching and finally giving support and giving them their tens, if we ourselves say that, hey, our trans people they can't compete, how do we expect others in the community to respect them or give them the respect if we are not doing it ourselves? I know people are gonna be like, well, you know, this generation is so sensitive and and you guys, everybody don't gotta accept you. Well, come on now. If there was a mainstream competition show that said they don't want black people or Asian people or Hispanic people competing, it would be uproar. So let's not pretend like that. So I think the last topic I want us to get to is, if you still think it's relevant, is Kevin Hart and the Ellen DeGeneres, whatever that little situationship they had going on in December.
Okay, look, people. If you are an entertainer, you are a person of color, you are a man, get a grip. Okay, I'm not like disrespecting Kevin Hart. Like I fully, whatever, what have you. I thank you for your candor and your being funny and like going in like all these movies I will watch movies, whatever, what have you. And I'll sometimes watch your comedy, whatever. But as a man, as a black man, and as a person, you ought to have you have a certain responsibility to not only use the power that you have as an entertainer to convey messages and to fully express a different or a rendition or an encouragement of a point of view. You should not come at a certain community and then go back years later and like sorry not sorry it.
Yeah.
And I understand like you're under like as a person that's like a public figure, you have like pressure coming from both sides and you're trying to juggle it and what have you. But like at the same time, if I was like, oh, I'm like this big actor or whatever, and I'm like getting the Grammy or whatever, I'm getting all these, that and the other. Say I was like the black Brad Pitt or something, whatever. Granted, I would never be as beautiful as that man. But say if I was, and I had this power to use my voice, I could be right or I could be wrong. I could say like, gay people is this and that and the other, like I don't like them, like I will never like them, whatever. Or I could say like gay people should be treated as people first. Yes, they're gay, but they're also people. I could say that, and I would have billions of people either having my back on that, supporting me, or I will have billions of people who will not. But I have the power to say that. And I have the power to convey a certain message and to proclaim myself a certain way to my audience. So just like to conclude my answer, I think that Kevin Hart should not only apologize, but also own up to his apology. And like, from that end, we can move on. Like, we can have cookies and cake. It doesn't matter.
I feel like, so I agree with what you said. I definitely agree with what you said. I think Kevin Hart is first it was just like he said an apology, but then nobody could find the apology. And then he said, oh, I'm not going to show you what the apology is. And then he goes to say in the same breath that the LGBT community is doing too much and then is bullying him. And you can't attack somebody first and then say they're bullying you. Like, you can't throw the first punch and then get mad when you get knocked out. Like, it doesn't work that way. And I feel like him, like a lot of people like saying, oh yeah, this is like sensitive, the gay community can't take jokes. Like, his tweets were like, if he saw his son playing with a dollhouse or whatever it was, he was gonna beat him. Like, gay people, we can take jokes. I watched like that gay episode on Family Guy. I laughed at that shit. Also, the whole Family Guy thing about people being sensitive. I don't know why they're saying that the gay jokes. I don't have a problem with it, but you know, I acknowledge that, like, you know, all gay people don't live the same experience. Even as you and I are talking right now, like, we do not represent all gay black men. Like, we can only give our perspective. So I just feel like gay people, we just stop saying y'all gonna kill y'all gay kids. Just stop saying that. Just stop saying that. Threatening to kill kids that you don't have already is weird, and it's wrong, and it's sick, and it's not a joke. It's not funny because gay people are really out here dying. Other than that, I don't really give a fuck. I can take a joke. Like, when y'all call us the alphabet community, this shit's kind of funny because we got a lot of letters, and I don't know all the letters. But I just feel like he just needs, like, I just want him to either, like, you know, stop straddling the line, because you can't be a victim but then also be in the wrong at the same time. And I feel like him getting Ellen on board is like the equivalent of saying, you know what, well, black people are mad at me for saying the N-word, so let me get a black person who's okay with me saying the N-word, and they're gonna co-sign me, so now y'all gonna all accept it. And like, his comments were directed towards black queer people. Ellen is not a black queer person. Yes, she is a public figure. Yes, she is very well respected, but Ellen is a rich white lesbian who does not live the same experiences as black queer people, so she cannot accept an apology on her behalf because she was not attacked. And I just feel like him trying to get her was just getting like, I have a gay friend, and she's okay with it, so forgive me.
Everybody is okay.
And then he proceeded to say that he was over the situation, and then went on several interviews saying how he's over it, he's not gonna apologize, but we're not talking about it no more. So it's kind of like well, now we are. But like we were over that shit. Like, we were just like, we don't fuck with you. And
you just lost half your audience.
And I feel like his issue was like, he has LGBTQ fans, and those fans are gonna stop supporting. So he's trying to like not apologize, but also keep that fan base. You can't eat your cake and have it too. Like, it just doesn't work that way. So either 2019 Kevin Hart, I want you to either double down on your homophobia or just stop. And one of the big things I want people to realize is like, this whole cancel culture is sensitive, they're toxic. Who's actually been canceled by cancel culture? Like, all people do is they apologize or they double down their ignorance, then they fade into the background for a few months and they come back and act like nothing's happened, and then they move on. Like, Kevin Hart has a movie out that's doing great. Like, he's making money. Like, he has millions of dollars. He's not going anywhere. Like, this is not gonna hurt him. So he didn't really get canceled. And I feel like that just goes to the point where I always try to stress that people aren't being sensitive. They're not mad about freedom of speech. You can have freedom of speech. Freedom of speech means that your government cannot arrest you for anything that you say. It does not mean that people have to accept your freedom of speech. They don't have to listen to you, and they don't have to host you while you say that. If you get boycotted, if you get fired, if you get kicked off the internet community, your freedom of speech is not being violated. Someone's just offering you to take that freedom of speech somewhere else. So people want freedom of criticism and not freedom of speech, and nobody's free of criticism because even Beyonce gets criticized. So you're gonna get criticized. So 2019, Kevin Hart, either double down the homophobia or be quiet. And that's all we have to say. So I want to thank Jaden for coming. I really appreciate it. This is a good video. This is a key. So thank you for coming to LGBT Tea Time.
Hey.
It's corny, but it's gonna catch on. All right. Thank you.